If you see this number sequence today, you have 24 hours to live as you are. The clock is not after your pulse, it is after your disguise. Do not blink. These next breaths are the hinge of your timeline, the turn you felt coming. The revelation is stepping into the light. The pattern is not random. Providence threads it through ordinary hours like thin fire. A countdown meant to close one chapter and open another. You sensed it building behind your days, not panic but direction. Your intuition was right. Alex Rivera stands inside that pressure, carrying love like a lantern through rooms others feared. A vow at a white hospital bed drives every step. Protect Mara, the younger sister whose joy steadied their mother. A secret stalks their lineage, and Alex has chosen to be the locked door. Loss tempered the vow into steel. Their mother's last day left a ringing silence, and numbers began appearing before every bruise on the family story. Clocks aligned, receipts repeated, omens arrived too exact to ignore. Beneath it moves the ledger, a hidden order tallying fate's debts, and a mentor named Elias, whose perfect timing now feels like design. Vengeance whispers, redemption calls, and Alex's heart strains between exposing a lie and protecting what remains of love. The sequence marks an appointed reckoning that spans 24 hours. Choices inside it will shape destiny or repeat inherited grief. Hear this clearly. God is not punishing you. An angel is preparing you, arranging the protection you prayed for. You have felt the signs: exhaustion without cause, restless nights, totals and times that repeat. You have also sensed someone close is hiding something, and your heart insists this is no coincidence. In minutes, the meaning of the first 2 digits will be revealed. Do not step away. If you leave, you risk missing the narrow window that reopens a door to the love you thought destiny denied, the bridge that can still be rebuilt. Alex receives the message etched in light. The sequence repeats across a rain-cleaned billboard, inside a phone notification, and in a watch reflection like a private aurora. It threads through memory, the mother's last voicemail, the date of a fight, the time of a prayer whispered in the car. Anger rises, fear maps exits, and courage sparks. Mara remains the promise that must not be broken. Her name anchors Alex to purpose when rage wants the wheel. The angelic presence leans close. Today's sequence hums at the appointed hour. You are not late. You are exactly on time, and this week a name returned, a song repeated, a sign appeared twice. Do not leave now. The next instruction secures the first layer of protection for you and your home. Anchor your timeline under divine covering by writing one word in agreement: Amen. In minutes, the secret behind the first digit unfolds, and a simple map will be placed in your hands. Alex's resolve hardens. End the ledger's hold no matter the cost, even if it means confronting Elias, the man who taught Alex to read the signs. Betrayal glints along the edges now, because Elias's timing mirrors the pattern too precisely, his messages landing at numbers that make skin prickle. Stay, because the symbol that appears beside the sequence when protection is active will be named soon, and it will show up in your life within a day. Windows like this close. When they do, another year slips into silence and regret. You know that stone of sadness, and you still hear the voice saying you were made for more. Heaven has not forgotten your petitions. Preparation has been unfolding behind what looked like delay. Stay inside this protection arc. Subscribe now as agreement with breakthrough timing, because engagement is how you say yes to alignment. Then Alex sees the sequence burned into a childhood photograph, a timestamp that never existed. The last digit flickers, sign of a secret. The traitor is inside the circle. Next, Shadow is named. The air held its breath, and Alex did too, because the hinge had turned and the day narrowed into a corridor where every second thudded like a drum. Urgency tightened. Do not step away, the angel pressed, because the next minute might be the most crucial of the year. Layer 3 lifted, synchrony multiplied. Following the sequence like a breadcrumb trail, Alex reached the old sanctuary beyond the tracks, a chapel retired by time, but not by memory. When the sun crossed the high window at 9:12, carvings surfaced from shadow. Digits scored into beams emerged like fossils. Dust swirled into a small galaxy, and the numbers breathed. A homecoming memory cut clean. The last family argument ended at the first two digits, a slammed door and months of echo. Destiny is not subtle when we ignore it. The sequence was not a curse, it was an appointment accruing interest. The angelic presence settled like quiet fire over shaking shoulders. This is a covenant moment. Protection and preparation walk together. You who have noticed feathers in unlikely places, repeating times on screens, or a name resurfacing where it doesn't belong, are not imagining it. In minutes, the counter-sequence arrives. If you step away now, you may miss the sky's alignment confirming your next brave move. At the altar rail, Alex's fingers found a locket hidden beneath a loosened board, brass warmed by a sunbeam. The family crest was engraved on the face, 2 circles interlaced. Inside lay a clipped number and a torn prayer in the mother's hand, unfinished mid-syllable. The ledger's creed seeped out like mildew. Bargains struck in fear, promises traded to ward off shadows, protection demanding payment, someone always paying with silence when the bill came due. Anger rose, metallic. The sequence had haunted birthdays and goodbyes, demanding attention and leaving ghosts when ignored. Love hauled the leash on fury. Jordan's patient faith, a steady lantern in long corridors, and Mara's unwavering trust, bright as morning, tethered Alex to purpose. Receipts, timestamps, and case numbers aligned on the phone into a single corridor pointing to one person who always carried the key. Elias entered not as thunder, but as a draft that made candles falter. His counsel had always nudged Alex to wait one day too long. You sensed this too. Someone you relied on withheld the whole truth and your intuition was right. Windows like this fold upon themselves every few months. Let it pass and another year can calcify. The universe is not random. Heaven weaves patterns. Destiny's arithmetic is precise when you are ready to move. Alex opened archived threads from Elias and saw timestamps mirroring the mother's last day, order masquerading as coincidence tenderness, hiding a transaction you can feel even now. In moments, the name of the protection symbol and the first action step will be given. Do not drift. Anger scorched, then cooled into resolve, red turning to iron. Forgiveness was not forgetting. Forgiveness was the key Elias tried to hide. Like this now, agree with mercy over bitterness, and watch light enter your home. The sequence appears when a chapter is ready to end. The end is the beginning you begged for. Perhaps a friendship cooled, finances stuck, or the mirror showed you tired of pretending. The countermath of heaven draws near. The next minutes deliver the pattern that interrupts fear's countdown. The first counter digit mirrors the first digit. It is the act you resisted but knew you must do. Elias confessed he diverted the ledger's weight to Alex to save himself. The cost, time lost, trust fractured, a promise to a dying mother trembling but unbroken. Comment, Amen if you choose redemption over revenge. The next segment is where most people quit. Do not be most people. The clock slid to the 12th minute left and light cracked across the floor like a path unfolding. In the dust, a small circle within a larger circle appeared. The angel's voice gathered. A hidden door unlatched. The door sighed inward on old hinges, releasing the hush that gathers when destinies decide to speak. Light braided through the dust, touching the twin circles in the floor, and the angel's presence stood like warmth without source, a certainty that settled Alex between fear and decision. The sequence pulsed beneath the skin of the room, not a threat but a heartbeat, and the minutes thinned until meaning had nowhere left to hide. Do not leave now, the atmosphere seemed to say, because the culmination was sliding into place like a key that had circled your pocket for years. Layer 5 rose with the steadiness of dawn. The numbers were a veil over something living. The old self that kept bargains with fear was already loosening. The courageous one you prayed to become stood waiting in the doorway, hand out, patient, unashamed. The counter-sequence did not arrive as digits carved in oak. It came as instruction etched into conscience. 3 living actions anyone can choose within a single day. Actions that interrupt panic and rewire time. The angel's warmth leaned forward, and the truth settled into words Alex could bear. Action 1 mirrored the first digit. Speak the truth you have avoided to the person you most fear disappointing. Alex turned toward Elias, not to punish, but to reveal. The unspoken had cost years. The sentence came steady, clear, and it did not shatter the room. It cleared it. The lie of protection bought with delay was named. Tears gathered but did not drown purpose. Truth opened the hidden door wider. Action 2 set the second digit free. Return or release what you took or clung to that was never yours to carry. Alex lifted the locket and the clipped number, the prayer fragment, the weight of the ledger's inheritance, and placed them on the altar. Not rejection, but release. The contract that fear demanded was returned to the silence that birthed it. What belonged to love remained. What belonged to fear unclasped and fell away. Action 3 aligned the final digit. Embrace the person you love without bargaining, choosing presence over performance. Alex crossed the threshold of pride and gathered Mara first, then Jordan. No conditions, no scripts. Just the admission that love without armor is the strongest shield a family can wear. The sequence flared like a bell, then softened, and what died was not the body, but the mask that had kept breath shallow for years. Spiritual anchoring intensified around them, like a choir they could not see. God answers petitions through obedient steps. Angels guard those who choose mercy. The universe multiplies courage wherever truth is spoken, without a knife in its hand. You have felt the pull of a conversation that scares you and saves you. Your feeling is correct, and your timing is now. If you leave this undone, distance will harden like frost on glass between you and the one you most want beside you. The next hours contain aligned moments. Watch how the world leans to meet you when you move. You will see 3 signs if you act. A white feather, or an unexpectedly gentle word, will settle in an ordinary place, confirmation that you are not alone. Then repeating 4444 or 1111 will greet your eyes when courage aligns with protection. Finally, a message or a long quiet name will find you. When it appears, answer with honesty, and keep your heart steady. Emotional resolution did not erase consequence, it arranged it. Boundaries shaped by love replaced barricades built by fear. Betrayal became lesson, vengeance dissolved, redemption took root, and the numbers that once hunted their days now guarded their thresholds. Family became sanctuary. The promise made at a bedside was kept in light. Mara's safety and joy became the new ledger, not a book of debts but a record of days fully lived. You who feel bravery rising, watch for the double circle near doors and thresholds today. Like now, do not postpone, comment Amen to seal it, subscribe and turn on notifications for guidance, and share this with a soul-seeing numbers before midnight. Join the inner circle for prayers. May these next hours end pretending and begin possibility.